Welcome everybody to the video, and we are going to break down my old Mace Windu survive theory and examine a very critical part of this that I find does not get the enough attention that I think it should. You know, even Star Wars Theory put out a new video today on Mace potentially surviving, and he actually touches on a little bit of this, but not in the way that I was expecting. Okay, so one of the first videos I ever made was a conspiracy theory style video about how Mace survived his attack with Palpatine. My biggest point of evidence was the building that he was thrown out of. This piece of evidence didn't really resonate in the comment section as everyone got caught up with about how strong Palpatine's Force lightning was. In Star Wars Theory's new video, he brings up the building, and I was so excited to finally have somebody else talk about the building, and especially someone who's very passionate about Mace, and break it down someplace else other than my own headcanon. This is when things got a little bit interesting. Theory was under the impression Mace fell from 500 Republica, where Palpatine had owned private apartments. If this is the building he fell from, Mace is dead, let's be honest. And to Theory's point, the building is so high it would be impossible to survive unless he somehow miraculously landed or grabbed a speeder. My original theory is that he fell from the top of the Republic Executive Building. So let's break down the evidence and figure out where he actually fell from and if he could have survived. We know that the conflict occurs in the Republic Executive Building because earlier in Revenge of the Sith we can see Anakin landing in a transport and then walking through the red carpeted area with the columns, and then later on when he goes to break up the fight between Mace and Palpatine, you can see him land in that same hangar area running through those same columns. Palpatine's office is located near the pinnacle of the building, so let's assume it's essentially at the very top of the building. From the wide-angle shots, the building appears to be a low-sloping dome, meaning lots of runway to fall on and slide, cushioning any fatal fall. This could be seen in great detail in the Zillo Beast arc of the Clone Wars. Not only does the Zillo Beast climb to the top of the building to find Palpatine in his office, but we see great shots of the shape of the building. It is very much a low-sloping dome, to the point where even Padme, Anakin, and C-3PO can simply slide down the side of it. There, however, are steep drops between the tiers of the building. These drops do not look any steeper than distances we've already seen Mace fall in the past, such as Geonosis or Anaxis. Mace should be able to handle these without issue. Things get a little confusing, however, when we examine the scene when Mace loses his hand. We see his lightsaber bounce twice on the sloped dome, but then appears to be a massive steep drop-off. This might be a perception trick with the camera, but I would guess there is another sloped tier below the edge that we see in the scene. This would line up with what we see in the Zillo Beast episode. I've seen comments that Force lightning blasted him so far that he would never hit the building. Let's look at his chances of landing on the sloped dome of the building, giving him the highest % chance of survival. We see the 3 hangar levels and can see some J-type star skiffs docked. This ship is just under 30 meters in length, and I would conservatively estimate each hangar exterior can fit 3 front to back. So with 3 levels, that would give us 9 ships worth of diameter. 9 ships times 30 meters would give us 270 meters for that 3-tier hangar area. Looking at the exterior, there's at least 3 other sections of the building that's a similar size as the hangar section, before we get close to where Palpatine's office might be near the top. So at 4 levels at 270 meters, that gives us over 1 kilometer at 1,080 meters. So what does this all mean? Emperor Palpatine's Force lightning blast would have sent Mace Windu over 1 kilometer in horizontal distance. Now, judging by my marks in university physics and math, obviously not my strong suit, but given that distance, and I know there's gravity going on in the curvature of the building and all that, that just seems like an insane amount of distance for him to cover flying through the air from a Force lightning blast and then to go splat on the ground. I know these are insanely rough numbers, but I think it shows that there is a fairly reasonable case that Mace could have survived the fall, assuming he didn't die from the effects of unlimited power. So let me know what you think. Could Mace have survived this fall? And would you like to see Mace pop up in a future Star Wars project? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.